virtual class of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai Education Department. I am Mrs. Akshata Kale and today we will learn EVS. Come on students, let us begin our lesson. Let us learn Environmental Studies Part 1 of Standard 4th and name of the lesson is 24th. Are we endangering our environment? Dear children, this is part 2. We have already completed part 1. In that we studied about the progress made by the human beings in the field of transportation, in the field of communication and also in the field of housing, isn't it? And in part 1 we studied about the similarities that found in city life and in village life. Like that only we learnt about the differences that we found in the city life, village life and in the forest, isn't it? Yes, let us move to today's portion. Dear children, these are the basic needs of human beings. They are water, food, air and the shelter. And to fulfill these requirements, man is making progress. He wants to lead a more comfortable life, isn't it? So he is making progress in each field, isn't it? The progress made by human beings. See here, man is more intelligent than all other animals. He makes use of his intelligence to make his life more comfortable. All living things make use of what they find in their environment, but only man can carefully study the things in the environment. He produces new things from materials in the environment, right? If the environment is harmed, it has harmful effects on all living things, and man is no exception. This we know, isn't it? About this we have studied in the part 1 of this lesson, right? Now dear children, this is growth of population. Now let us study about this growth of population. Here, see this, last 60 years the population of our country has tripled, means 3 times more. Okay, it is still growing. So the demand for all those things that we need to take from the environment has increased many times over, right? Now we will go through the graph and we will try to study the population explosion. Okay, see this is a bar graph. These you can see here bars, so it is called as bar graph. Okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. On the x-axis we can see the years, that is 1911 to 2011. Dear children, these bars show the census of population. Got this? Now on the y-axis you can see the counting, that is population in millions. See, okay, MN means here millions. For example, I will tell you here 1911 the population of India was approximately 250 million. Got this? Here, see this, 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. Remember this, 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. And dear children, you know that 1 lakh has 5 zeros in front of 1. Right? 10 lakh means 6 zeros in front of 1. Got this? Now we will go through one or two readings from this bar graph. Okay. See dear children, census means counting the people. This census occurs after every 10 years. Okay, see here 1911, then 1921, 1931 means there is a gap of 10 years, isn't it? Now see this, a census was done in 1951. Okay, this bar graph shows that the 1951 census account. Okay, what was the population of our country then? Come on, see this. You know that 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs, and here the reading shows that it is nearly about 350 millions. Now see here, 350 millions, that is equal to 10 lakhs multiplied by 350, isn't it? So that is 3,500 lakhs when it was at 1951 census. Now here one more question we will go through. See this arrow mark. A census was done in 2011, right? What was the population of our country then? Here the bar shows that it is equal to 1,200 million, right? 1,200 millions is equal to how much? 10 lakhs multiplied by 1,200, that is equal to 12,000 lakhs. 12,000, and after that 5 zeros we have to give. See the population of our India. Means when we compare the population of India of 1951 to 2011, we can say that population is tripled in 60 years. It is growing so rapidly, isn't it? Within 60 years it is tripled. Got this, children? Now here you can see a village. People could not get employment in villages, isn't it? So they began to leave and to go to the cities in search of work to earn the money, right? Cities became crowded because all villagers, they are coming to the cities. The population in cities grew beyond limits. You can see here in the picture so many people you can see, right? Now here this is the picture of Mumbai. Mumbai is the best example for crowded city, isn't it? We live in Mumbai and we know how many people they come to Mumbai in search of work. After that they stay here only. So our population of Mumbai is rising continuously, isn't it? Because of this, cities began to experience a shortage of water. There were not enough houses for everybody. So people could not find a place to stay. There used to be open spaces and fields around the cities. There they will build a temporary houses. New colonies will build there. And to build these new houses and colonies, the trees there had to be cut down. Isn't it? Everything depends on one another. In cities, one has to travel long distances to get to work, right? So people in cities began to buy vehicles that run on fuels. In all big cities, these vehicles spew smoke as they are driven around. This smoke mixes with the city air. As a result, people began to have breathing problems. Instances of asthma and lung disorders began to increase. That is because of air pollution. Isn't it? You can see in this picture that is the city air is totally polluted because of these moving vehicles. Right? Now dear children, can you see any green tree in this picture? No, right? Trees have been banished from cities. So, birds do not find places to build their nests. They also find the smoke in the city air troublesome. They are no longer sure of getting water when they are thirsty. So, there are fewer and fewer birds in cities now. So many birds, they are dying because of this pollution and shortage of food and water. Like that only, the number of butterflies and other insects is also falling. Got this? Yes? Okay. Now we will move to one more problem. See here, because of the increasing population, the drainage system in cities fails sometimes. Then, water collects in the midst of living areas. Right? Because of that, mosquitoes grow in it. You know that the dirty water is required for mosquitoes to grow. Correct? These mosquitoes spread diseases like malaria, right? Then one more, that is dengue. Another one is filaria. And one more disease that is very dangerous, that is nothing but chikungunya. Got this, children? Yes. Here you can see the diseased people. Right? Do you see how the increase in the population spoils the life we lead in cities? Yes. It creates so many problems. We will go through some of them. First one is groundwater is drying up. Yes, dear children, you know that water is an important need of all living things. We use water for drinking, for becoming clean, for cooking, for washing clothes and utensils. More water is needed in factories to manufacture the products. Yes, for house cleanliness. To keep our house clean, we need more water. Right? Like that only, the farms or the agriculture need a lot of water to grow the crops. And and the building construction, it too needs a large amount of water. Right? Means water is necessary in all the fields in day-to-day life. Correct? But as the rainy season ends, the water in rivers decreases. Correct? Yes, dear children, we know that rainy season is from June to September. But we receive more rainfall in only July and in August. Right? After that, what happens? The water in rivers slowly decreases. Water in wells too recedes. Water in wells too recedes. Their water barely lasts up to the month of March the following year. Later in summer, many villages face a serious scarcity of water. Means they will not get water for drinking too. Do you know, children, people settle only where water is available from one source or the other. Here you can see the buildings or the settlements beside the water source. Because water is an important need of all living things, isn't it? Okay, the population keeps growing. The rainfall, however, remains the same. So there is a shortage of water. Much of rainwater flows away unused. So what the man did? So we began to build dams to store rainwater and use it later. Some people began to use bore wells rather than draw wells and to use hand pumps to lift water. Then pumps that worked mechanically on diesel or electricity were invented. Now the use of such pumps has become widespread. The population has so greatly increased that now every summer we face severe water scarcity. Isn't it? Another problem that the population growth caused was that of availability of food. The food produced in the country began to fall short of the needs of the growing population. Because population is growing continuously, so the demand for food is also increased. Right? So our scientists developed improved methods of farming. Previously, farmers would grow only one crop in the year. Now they can take 2 or even 3 crops every year. As a result, food production increased, but so did the demand for water for agriculture. You know that agriculture needs a large amount of water, right? So the problem of water arose. We experience scarcity of water soon after the rains. Then from where do we get the water? For the fields in summer and in the winter, you know. Yes, dear children, see this. Rainwater that has seeped into the soil can be used in this situation. Here in the picture you can see the rainwater, it is seeped here. This blue colored groundwater is nothing but the rainwater which is seeped into the ground. Okay. Here the water found in wells and borewells is nothing but rainwater that has seeped into the ground. See, these are all tube wells and bore wells. Okay. Yes. See, these are dug well or tube well. Okay. Yes, these bring the groundwater on the land. Here you can see the groundwater blue in color, that by using the tube well or bore well, we by the help of this machine we bring that up and we use for the agriculture and for the other different purposes. Okay, here also the same thing you can see. Dear children, let us learn about some traditional methods of drawing water from the wells. Okay, this I hope you don't know. Okay, because we all live in Mumbai, so we don't know about this. See this, in the Konkan region there are groves of coconut, betel nut and bananas. Okay, groves means big farms. They are watered using the water wheel to lift water from the wells. A horizontal beam is placed over the mouth of the well. You can see here the well and the horizontal beam kept on the mouth of the well. Okay, it supports a large wooden wheel which turns around. This wheel is called Rahat. Okay, and several pots, see here, several pots. Okay, right? So many pots are fixed on the wheel. Right? When the wheel turns, the chain of pots turns with it. See here. Okay, that is called Rahat Gadge. Got this? Here, one by one, they dip into the water in the well and get filled as they come up. You can see here in the picture, this water is pouring here, correct? Because these pots they are coming up, and when they take the round, they spill the water, right? As the wheel turns, each pot turns over and water gets poured into the channel. From there, it is taken to the grooves or to the fields. The water wheel is turned with the help of the bullock or a male buffalo. You can see here in the picture, right? Such water wheels or Rahat Gadge are still in use in some places in the Konkan region. Got this, children? If you want to watch a video on this, you can go for the YouTube and enter Rahat Gadge. Okay? See here one more type. In other parts of Maharashtra, a mott, M-O-T, mott, okay, was in use for lifting well water. A mott is a large leather bag. It is lowered into the water at the end of a rope. When it is full, it is lifted out of the well. The water is used for the fields, can be taken from this. Move to and fro on a ramp to help lower the bag and lift it. Here you can see a buffalo, right? They use bullock or buffalo. The mott is used in very few places now. Got this, children? Nowadays, fields are watered using diesel or electric pumps. You can see in this picture, this is a diesel engine or diesel machine. These mechanical pumps can lift many times more water than the motts ever could. Besides, because more than one crop is taken every year, the pumps are used to lift water even after the rainy season. As a result, the water stored underground is getting used up rapidly. Got this, children? Yes, this is all about this lesson. Okay, now we will go through what we have learned in this lesson. Okay, see this, as the population keeps growing, the demand for things we get from the environment also grows in leaps and bounds. Cities became crowded as people left their villages in search for work. Trees were cut down to build new houses. The number of vehicles increased. Their smoke began to cause breathing disorders. As trees are felled, means cut, birds do not find nesting places, right? There is smoke too. As a result, the numbers of birds, butterflies and other insects in cities are falling. The greater the population, the greater is the demand for food grain. Farmers now take multiple crops. The demand for water too increases. Previously, in Konkan, the water wheel was used to draw well water, while the moat was used elsewhere in Maharashtra. Now, pumps are used for the purpose in most places. So, groundwater gets used up rapidly. Right? Each thing is interdependent. Correct? As the population is growing, the demand for food is growing. So the demand for water is also growing. Right? Now, dear children, we will move to the exercise part of this lesson. Fill in the blanks. Here we can see 5 fill in the blanks. Right? Okay. We will go through one by one. First one. In summer, there is a dash of water in many villages and cities. Yes. In summer, there is a, yes, what? Scarcity. Scarcity of water in many villages and cities. Okay. Second one. A bullock or a male buffalo is used to turn the dash. Come on, tell me. A bullock or a male buffalo is used to turn the water wheel. Correct? That is used for Rahat Gadge. Right? Next, third one. Dash is more intelligent than all other animals. Yes, we know that. Man. Correct? Fourth, a moat is a large leather dash. What is that? Large leather bag. Isn't it? Okay. Last one. People leave their villages for the cities in search of what? In search of work. Right? Okay. Thank you, dear children. Yes, please read the lesson 1 or 2 times. Okay, and try to understand the concept. Bye. Thank you very much for being a part of this lesson. Please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon to get new updated videos.